So definition of strategy. Define. And I'm not using textbook definition because I'm using my 15 years of experience running a business to define many of these things. Because if I give you the general one that applies in the US, maybe it might not even apply for you here. So a strategy is a top management activity that involves a careful observation of the market. A strategy is a top management activity that involves a careful observation of the market. You can put in bracket research. A strategy is a top management activity that involves a careful observation of the market. In bracket, put research. Pastor has mentioned many of these things, but you will see the way it plays out. A strategy is a top management activity that involves a careful observation of the market with a view to identify 4 things. Now, when you do your research, there are 4 things you want to identify. So, with a view to identify, number 1, patterns. A strategy is a top management activity. You can always get the video. That's why I don't get the video. And Pastor Lumda, I'm sure the video will be available for them to watch. So, okay. So, a strategy is a top management activity that involves a careful observation of the market with a view to identify patterns, players, people, and pain points. With a view to identify patterns, players, people, and pain points. You can put after the pain points in brackets, analysis. With a view to identify patterns, players, people, and pain points in bracket analysis, so as to prepare and position your business or brand, to take advantage of opportunities. So as to prepare and position your business or brand to take advantage of opportunities. You can put in brackets development. So strategy requires deep thinking and a probing mindset. See, when there is a pain point, when you want to solve a problem, you need to go deep. One of my bosses, what he does then is, he will go, if they give him a job or a brief, like one of the briefs he got, this man will go and sit down in that bank. One of the briefs he got was a brief for GT Bank, and he went and sat down in the bank and began to observe movement. He just sat down with a biro and paper and began to observe what was taking place, what was the error, who is complaining, who is solving what. And after, he gave a solution that even the owners of the business they did not even thought was, they didn't even know the problem existed. So it is a deep thinking process, and it requires a probing mind. And that is why I told our third speaker that unfortunately a lot of us are lazy. I'm sorry to say this. A lot of people are lazy. We are in a money society that everybody just wants to spend money and eat fresh fish every evening. Pepper soup, fresh fish. Nobody wants to sit down and think through something. And as Christians, we have the opportunity of making this difference because, one, we are connected to God. So you need to have a probing mind. You need to think through. If there's anything I do more than a lot of people, all of us are 24 hours, but there's something I know I do more than a lot of people. I think more than a lot of people. You will never hear my phone ring because it is distraction. It affects my thought process. So it requires that you think deep, observe things, and that's what strategy does to you. It requires an understanding of why. Why is Nigeria like this? At the point I was asking myself a simple question. Why is Nigeria like this? Why are we like this? Why is Nigeria like this? And I came up with a strategy to solve my problem in this country. So there are 4 functions that will be carried out if you are going to do strategy. I'm going to go into the practical aspect. Let me just give you this note. No, but the first function from that definition is audit. You have to look at the trend. What is happening? What are the skills that you need? Who are the champions? What are the opportunities? You need to do an audit. Before you go and say, I have a product, I have a solution. Go and do an audit of that market. Do an audit. Audit requires an in-depth knowledge of your market. Second thing you will do after audit is research. Pastor has mentioned it. research involves an in-depth breakdown of the market. Now you have seen the challenges, you have seen certain things in the market, things are not working. Now you have to break it down. Thirdly, you have to do an analysis of the market, which is an in-depth breakdown of the patterns, the pain points of the places, and also of the people. Now you now know that some people work at night and somebody cooks indomie for them, and that woman works from just 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock. But every night, 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock, that woman is selling indomie. Because there are some night crawlers. Maybe based on their job, maybe based on their, I don't know, but for me, that is very awkward time to be selling food. But this woman is always there 8 to 11 at the border town. And do you know what? Every night sold out. You know what she understood? She understood the market, understood the players. Because at the border town, you know what? People are actually still collecting some things, checking the border town in where my farm is. There is no daytime or nighttime. Everybody is always on that road. But that woman understood that, okay, between this 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock, there is a market. So she understood those 4 things: patterns, people, players, and their pinpoints. She understood that by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, most restaurants are closed. So the problem of good food from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock in that particular area may become an issue. You understand? So analysis. Then when you understand, or after a thorough analysis, you now do what we call development. That's when you now work on your product development. And in developing your product, one thing that a lot of people miss is what we call differentiation. Differentiation. They look at your product. Your product is exactly like the next person's product. That lady in Dragon's Den, what got their entrance? There are a lot of workstations. A lot of people, a lot of them closed up. In fact, my partner came and told me, said that many of those workstations actually are not profitable. But how was she able to record such profit? As a business developer, I was able to look at what she has done right, and I saw there is a margin, there is a positioning that gives her an advantage. Sammy will discuss that after, because this is not for this class. That advantage is what she has been able to take. She rode on, she positioned herself, and she's recording profit in an industry where people are folding up. The one I know on Adeni Jones, nice concept, nice ambience. After 1 year, the coal closed up. So differentiation. While strategy addresses how you position yourself in the market, differentiation helps you to position your product so that the people that need it can take advantage of it. Now, I will conclude on this first part. Finding out whether people need that solution is very important. And if such need exists, how you want to position your solution in order for it to be perceived differently is the next line of action.